Hi, Fabio. Let's take a look at this new set of essays you've submitted to us. Online communication, let's see what you wrote. Experts throughout both the developing and developed world have debated whether online communication has more benefits or drawbacks rather than physical conversations. This essay will discuss both sides using examples from the UK government and Oxford University to demonstrate points and prove arguments. All right, now, Fabio, I feel like we've talked about this before. There's a direct question here. All right, do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages? It's a good idea to answer that in your introduction, because if you look at the band descriptors, it tells you that your position needs to be clear throughout your essay, and throughout means from the beginning to the end. So to make it clear, you really should state what your position is in your introduction. This way, the examiner has a road map. They know where you're going with this essay. They know what you're going to cover more or less. And so it's a better idea for task achievement. Okay, now I just reread your email because you mentioned it in your email as well. You really should answer it because of the reason that I stated. Now, another reason you should state it here and not just here is the way this question is stated. It says, do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages? In order to do this essay appropriately, you're going to have to cover, most likely, okay, I'd have to say 80% of the times, people will choose to discuss both sides. They'll discuss the advantages, they'll discuss the disadvantages. Typically, what most people will do is they'll talk about the side that they do not support here, and then here they'll talk about the side that they do support. This gives it more weight. It gives it more, kind of acts like an anchor for your essay. So if you were to write your position only here, it would not be clear throughout your essay, because you would write it here and then all of a sudden here you would, I don't know what you would do. So remember, the idea is to make sure that it's clear throughout. So throughout meaning from the beginning to the end. So beginning is here in your introduction. Then, like I said, you may want to talk about the disadvantages here, and then the advantages here, assuming that you are in favor of the advantages, okay? And then again, you would rephrase it here. I hope that answers your question. Let's see what you actually said. Oh, before we continue with the essay, I wanted to fix some of this too. I thought there was some awkwardness here because you said whether online communication has more benefits than physical conversations. That would have been better. Has more, yeah, has, you still have to fix the grammar here. It's not entirely accurate. So let's try it one more time. Have debated whether online communication has more benefits or drawbacks compared to in-person conversations. We don't really call them physical conversations, so in-person conversations. All right, so just cleaning that up a little bit, making it more accurate. Let's continue. There is ample evidence that nowadays physical meetings are outdated and that virtual conversations are the present and will be the future of workplace communication, no S. The central reason behind this is twofold. Firstly, online technology allows workers, S, to check information at any necessary moment, and the employees to constantly keep in contact without this, especially in the pandemic situation that we are living. Secondly, virtual connections are helpful to save time and money. Instead of traveling by airplane or by train and staying in a hotel, employees can easily attend international meetings in their own office through a webcam. For example, recent empirical research by the UK government demonstrated that online communications help employees to save up to 4 days of work every month. Therefore, it is conclusively clear that these technologies are useful to enhance companies' productivity and efficiency. This is good. Let's see what you wrote in the next paragraph. Although there is a case for Zoom, Skype, Google Meet, and other applications favoring the social interactions, without the here, the impact of virtual communication cannot be overstated. This is largely because the feeling of eye-to-eye conversation, we don't really say this, the feeling of face-to-face conversation is irreplaceable despite the high level of message. I don't know what this means. First of all, we don't say despite of the, we say despite plus noun. So despite the high level. And then I didn't understand this messages customization. I don't understand what that means, I'm afraid. Furthermore, we can't underestimate the problem of internet connectivity, full stop. For instance, an extensive study by Oxford University showed that only 30% of the world has a fast and stable online connection. Thus, it is possible to state beyond doubt that the communication in person guarantees a higher degree of emotional involvement, careful with your spelling, and also the elimination of internet problems. Okay, let's keep going. From the examples and from the arguments and examples given, I firmly believe that the benefits of virtual communications are greater than the drawbacks, even if they don't guarantee the same emotional level of face-to-face communications. Due to the progress of technology, or the technological progress, it is predicted that the use of these ESE new methods of communication will increasingly grow. Okay. So let's take a look at this now. Okay, so I thought you did a pretty good job of this. I thought you developed really well. I thought that you had support and your paragraphs themselves were well structured. Here is where I finally saw what your position is. Nowhere else did I saw it. Now, just because you say there is ample evidence that nowadays, etc., that doesn't necessarily mean that this is your viewpoint, okay? Because you also said this, which is the opposite. So, that's why I really have to be very insistent that you use my suggestion and you use your you present your position here. As I said, I also would have reversed these paragraphs. Okay, I would have put the stronger one, the one that you actually support, would have put it closer to the bottom. This way it also fits in with your conclusion better. So let's see, what else did I want to talk to you about? There are several different things you have to talk about in this essay. You have to obviously talk about the benefits of online communication in the workplace, the drawbacks of it, and I'm going to tell you something else. It's always a good idea to mention a comparison with face-to-face meetings in the workplace. You did a little of that, but not really a lot. I would have liked to have seen this comparison a little more. So, for example, such is not the case with face-to-face meetings in the workplace, or this can only be accomplished online, but cannot be accomplished in face-to-face meetings. So, things like that. So, when you're pointing out these things, these benefits or these disadvantages, also say how they relate to face-to-face meetings. I think that's a good idea because it is part of this topic. Okay. All right, so let's now take a look at your task 1 here. We've got the school subjects in Germany. Fabulous. Let's see. All right, so let's see what you said. The pie chart shows the percentage of preference of school subjects in 2017 in Germany. All right, this is okay. I think you could have made it a little less heavy. And by that, I mean you have all these prepositional phrases. Look, of preference, of school subject in 2017 in Germany. You could have lightened it up a little bit. Let's see. The pie chart shows school subject preference in 2017 in Germany. I mean, we got rid of at least 1 or 2 of them. Let's see. The subjects considered ed. Fine. A closer look at the graph reveals that physical education represents the largest portion of the chart with 22.9%, whereas IT is undoubtedly, careful with your spelling, the smallest with 3.7%. Physical education is closely followed by history at 22.4% of the total, and by maths and physics with 19.5 and 18.1% respectively. Okay. Biology's share of popularity is 7.1%, and it represents nearly a 1/12 of the graph. Also, comma, geography has a smaller proportion than biology with 6.4%, and its preference level is 3 times lower than that of physics. Okay? Overall, it is possible to clearly distinguish two groups of subjects. PE, history, maths, and physics have similar values, and so are the subjects most preferred by students. Full stop. Instead, biology, geography, and IT are the ones with the lowest values, so, comma, the least popular. Okay, the least popular. All right, I was a little concerned about this, but it actually worked out pretty well. I thought you did a good job overall, 170 words. It's fine. I was a little worried on for a couple of different reasons. I thought you grouped too much. Like, I thought this was too much lumping everything together, but it worked out because you kind of extended elsewhere. I like what you did here with physics. I thought that was a great idea, comparing physics with biology. That was smart. And that's the kind of thing you do need to do here in this task. I was also a little nervous that you might include some data here, but you didn't. So I thought your overview was also appropriate, no problems. So yeah, in general, I thought you did pretty well with this. Just a couple of little errors, minor things. On the whole, it was a nice task one. So good job with it. Okay, so Fabio, let's see more work from you. I'm happy with this. I know I spent quite a bit of time with your task too, so you should be aware of some of the things that I think should be changed there. And keep at it, okay? I'm looking forward to another set, so good luck to you.